Ohayo, One Piece no manga dokusha ne. Yatano Kagami. I was trying to be Kizaru, but I couldn't find any yellow shades in such a short amount of time. Welcome, everybody! Yo, peoples! Welcome back to another... Oh, no, I hit my CD! No! Sorry, that's my Three Stooges. I can't mess with my Three Stooges. Welcome back to another One Piece manga chapter review and reaction. Chapter 839. I shall never forget the debt that I owe you. And we have... Who is that? We have the Straw Hats writing a 3? A 3 or... No, what is that? It doesn't even say anything. They're writing over someone's face, but I recognize that face. He looks like that one dude. I forget his name. But moving on. Boa Hankook. And we have chibi version of the Straw Hats. Oh, this is a nice look. Okay. Welcome back. Ichiji and Niji. Germa unites. One could say that Broccoli was also one of the places that suffered greatly after Doflamingo's fall from power. They'd lost their... Oh, this is a judge speaking. They'd lost their primary weapons manufacturer in the midst of the war, and came groveling to us for help. They were so desperate, in fact, they chose to end it rather than to let their war drag out. I think this is a good example of an instance where trying to keep everyone alive would end up causing more casualties in the long run. This is me, Carrie. We let our strength to the side who writes us the biggest check. That's all there really is to it. Hey, we could have made an easier, greater profit if we had double-dipped and taken up both sides. That would have made us no different than pirates. Woo! The whole family eating. Look at the place! Look at the place! It looks like... I'm not going to say what it looks like, because at this moment we are still a nation officially registered as an affiliate of the world government. Ah, that reminds me, Father, the next reverie is coming up. Well, either way, in the not-so-distant future, I'm guessing we'll be stripped of the right to participate in the reverie. I hope you all are prepared for that moment, because when it happens, we Germa will be one step closer to our ultimate goal. What is their ultimate goal? It's rare to see Father in such high spirits. To think that you, of all people, would actually be of use to us. Never thought I'd see the day. Hold your head high, Sanji. Man, all of us are a bit stunned when you showed up and vanished into thin air that day. Sure, from time to time, we siblings would reminisce about you. The discussion almost exclusively revolved around all the amusing and humorous ways for you to have died while being out there on your own. Yo, Niji, finish what's left on your plate. Say what? Oh, this? I don't want it. I left it there intentionally. Do not disrespect food around Sanji, Niji. I just had some of the most mouth-watering chocolate before our meal. Besides, that weird potato sauce completely killed my appetite. The consistency alone makes me want to puke, so the only place it's going into will be the trash. Eat it. You're an ignorant, spoiled prince who doesn't know anything about the value of food. What? What did you just say to me? Do you think you can get away? Do you think you can away with talking? I think they meant to put, do you think you can get away? Do you think you can get away with talking to me in that tone? Call the head chef. Where's Cosette? What she thinks passes as food made my brother ruin my good mood. My sincerest apologies. I take full blame and responsibility for serving food that did not cater to Lord Niji's liking and head chef Cosette. Now then, don't you dare move a muscle, Cosette, and he throws the plate at her, which I haven't even moved the chapter. I'm going to automatically assume that Sanji not only catches the plate, but all the food on it and keeps it from hitting her. Next page. Oh! I knew it! Called it. And he catches it, but the food drops. Half right. Why, you've totally lost your mind. Are you trying to leave a scar on this beautiful lady's face? And Sanji the gentleman. That so-called lady is just a menial servant who prepares our meals. Such a gentleman. Now, look, it's all over the floor. I'll have you know this dish is called aligot. It's made by carefully mixing potatoes with cheese. Potatoes strengthen our immune systems. They help maintain and regulate our blood pressures. Never mind the tons of nutritional value it contains. Lord Sanji, please allow me to take care of the cleaning. None of you have ever so much as glanced in the direction of an ingredient, so you haven't the slightest clue. The time and effort put into eating and preparing this meat confit. But I can tell. The sweat and toil that went into preparing this dish had to begin before sunrise. And, like a gentleman who is also a food connoisseur, he eats the food that fell on the floor. Respect for the lady. You mustn't, Lord Sanji. Royals should never eat fruit from off the floor. This is the most repulsive thing ever. I think I'm gonna throw up. The seasoning you chose for this, perfection. And she's stunned and she's crying about it. You've gotten way too comfortable rubbing elbows with the low-life commoners. If you insist on calling yourself my brother, I won't stand for such dismeaning and despicable acts. And Judge is looking stunned as Niji is about to kick stunts. Oh, he says, stand down, Niji. Now is not the time or place. Not before his wedding. And he stops literally an inch before his face, and the shockwave from it literally blows everything behind him back. Wow, Sanji was about to get that. You bring shame to our family. Being affiliated with this brings shame to me. Spoiled brats that don't appreciate a warm meal. Men who dare raise their hands against a woman. Royals who treat the lives of their subordinates as nothing more than expendable pawns. Everything you do, everything you stand for, goes completely against every fiber in my body. Your opinions are nothing more than the prattle and musings of the plebeians. I have never understood how that brain of yours worked ever since we were brats. Understand this. Royals are meant to act like royals. The only person acting disgracefully here is you. Niji's logic is flawless. You need to rein in that twisted thinking of yours, Sanji. Perhaps it is this man who has such a negative impact on your upbringing. Oh, Onazif! You better not have did anything to Red Leg. Big Mom's connections run very deep and very far. I was told that you had been keeping a residence at this man's establishment until roughly 2 years ago. We've already pinpointed his location, as well as the name of his sea restaurant, the Baratie. What's wrong? You're looking a bit pale. What have they done? They better not have did anything to you boys. The pirate Sanji himself seems to be opposed to the marriage arrangements as well. If worse comes to worse, then feel free to use these wristlets. It's Baron Tomago speaking to him right now. It may be a bit heavy-handed, but exploiting this weakness of his is sure to yield favorable results. In the event that you insist on challenging and defying my orders, I have it on good authority that this man will meet an unexpected and untimely death. This will be your first and only warning on the matter. Oh, first, they put explosive bombs on his wrists, Sanji's most delicate of instruments. Now they're threatening Red Leg Zeph. They are asking for a straw hat butt whooping, especially from Sanji. They are literally digging a hole. Quit digging a hole. I can't. I'm in too deep. They really have no idea who they're messing with, do they? They haven't seen Sanji in over how many years, and they really think that he's just gonna roll over and be silent about this? They have not seen the Sanji we've seen from Fishman, from Dressrosa, from Zoe. They don't know. Get it through that thick skull of yours. Do not rock the boat. Do not cause any waves. I know you're fully aware what each and every one of us here are capable of. This process will go off without a hitch, and you will accept it. You will say goodbye to your old friends and your old life. As long as you're obedient and follow through with this marriage, everything and everyone will come out of this unscathed. And everybody's just walking past him. Oh, this looks like such a Beatles crosswalk moment of everyone walking. But I was trying to kill you. Where do you get off being so forgiving and treating me so nicely? This is beyond awesome, Gramps. So this is what a sea restaurant looks like. And these are all flashbacks from the moment that Sanji met Zeff to his time on the Baratie. Things will only get tougher and harder starting today. You've got nothing to worry about. You got me by your side. Or you deprived little eggplant. I cook faster in my sleep, little eggplant. Keep telling me that, you old geezer. Why, you little eggplant, must you always get distracted by every passing pair of... And he gets kicked. Ya snot-nosed little eggplant. Oi, Sanji, try not to catch cold. Oh, Nazif! Till my dying day, I shall never forget everything you've done for this little eggplant. He said something else, but like I said before in some of my videos, I don't curse, so I apologize. Let us make tomorrow a great and memorable day. Oh, the wedding's tomorrow. We will be having lunch with Big Mom and Pudding later today. Make yourself presentable when the time comes. And he can't say anything. Someone! I need immediate help! Please call a doctor! Hey, don't pass out on me now. That little stain, it had to be him. Only he'd be this vindictive. What did this girl ever do to you? Oh, snap! Someone done beat up Cosette. What kind of man beats a woman to the point that she's rendered unconscious? I can't even call him scum. He's the crap that's buried beneath it. You brought this all on yourself, Sanji. Yonji! That's what happens when you stick up for the peasants. Aren't you just itching to see Niji? All signs point to him being the culprit. Come with me, I'll lead the way. Fine by me. You remember this place, don't you? After all, we tried our hardest to get in here back when we were kids. 54 of type MB, 30 of type MST. We need 20 more extras for type MH. What the... The secret of Germa 66 is that they're a cloning facility! Ooh, this explains their soldiers! They're Camino! They're a mobile version of Camino! No! They have an unlimited army! This explains why all the soldiers look like one another. They've cloned all of them! What's the secret truth behind Germa? No break next week, which means we can continue. But that doesn't excuse the fact that The entire army of Germa 66 not only makes up the Vinsmoke family, but an unlimited number of cloned soldiers that they are constantly making. Hundreds! And that's the end of the chapter. Wow. I really don't know what to say. I mean, yes, I knew that Germa 66, I'm starting my review now. Yes, I knew that Germa 66 had a whole bunch of technology available to them. But the fact that they're cloning people, I mean, I haven't seen tech like that since... The first thing I think of technology-wise of things getting super advanced and all that is Vegapunk, and a little bit from Caesar. But Germa has cloning technology. I don't even know if they're cloning them or growing them, because they look like they're encased in vats, and like body vats with fluids growing them. So I'm thinking more along the lines of Star Wars Kamino, where they're grown and then permanently, then they're used as soldiers or workers or whatever Germa needs. So I'm thinking more along the lines of Kamino than anything else. The cloning facility on the Kamino. But just how big is that place? Because I seen numbers go all the way up to... I see number all the way up to 65, 66, 67, and who knows how much more it goes around there. 267 clones. And they have them from different sizes. They have different sizes and shapes so they can fulfill different purposes. And Sanji was speechless when he saw this, because he didn't even know his family was doing this. We didn't even know his family was doing this. For all we knew, they were just soldiers who were all given the same haircut and same look. No, they're clones or grown. Don't even know what they are. But overall, this was actually a good chapter. I love seeing more Vinsmokes. I've always loved seeing more Vinsmokes. And now we got... But the thing that gets me is that they are really not pulling any punches with Sanji. I mean, Niji was literally about to body Sanji, if it was even going to go up to that point. As we've seen, when his kick barely touches his face, but the inertia wave that came with that kick literally blew a gigantic rush of air behind Cosette, who was behind Sanji at the time. But also that none of the guys in the Vinsmoke family have the gentleman qualities that Sanji has, as we have clearly seen by Cosette later on in the day was beaten to unconsciousness by Niji. And at least we think it's Niji, because the way that his brother makes it sound is too peculiar for, well, I'm gonna lead you to the guy who did this to you so easily. I mean, seeing as how Niji is like irreprehensible, I'm pretty sure Niji would have been the one that said, yeah, I did it. So something about this doesn't seem right. Something about how Yonji was so willing to give him this information, something about it just seems off to me. So I don't trust it. But we also see they don't have the gentleman qualities, but they also have information on the Baratie and Zeph as well. And if Sanji continues to be resistant to the idea of him getting married, then they're just going to kill Zeph. They haven't said how. They just said, well, if you continue to make waves and rock the boat, we're just going to kill Zeph, the man that raised you, since you don't see me as a father anymore. But, so, Big Mom's connections run ridiculously deep. So that's something. But overall, I thought this was a good chapter. But it just shows you just how far the Germa 66 is willing to go to achieve its goals. Because they said that they're going to, even if they're not able to attend Revelry, then it doesn't hinder their plans either. But they also say that they're sort of affiliated with the world government in some way. Actually, let me go back and read that again, because he might have explained it, but I may not have paid attention. Yeah, okay. We are still a nation officially. Yeah, there are a nation officially registered as an affiliate of the world government. So they're affiliated with the world government, but they're still working on their own means and ends. But they say in the future they'll probably be stripped of the right to participate in Reverie. So right now they're able to, but I feel that once their plan goes into action, they're going to be cut off from the world government, and then that'll allow them to fully pursue their goals. Like they're like a nation. They're sort of acting in their best interests, only in their best interests. So they're affiliating themselves with the world government only to pursue their own needs. And then as soon as their needs are met, they're going to drop the world government like a bad habit. Sort of like Blackbeard did when he only used his position as a warlord to get into Impel Down, to only get more powerful members for his crew. Then as soon as he did, and then he killed Whitebeard and gained his power from an still unknown method, then he just dropped the title so that way he can pursue his own goals and usurp the position of Yonko from Whitebeard's now vacant position. But that's sort of the vibe I'm getting from Germa right here. They're only using the world government so they can do what they want while still appearing to be affiliated with them until they fulfill their goal. But I know I'm rambling on, so I do apologize. But overall, I like this chapter. I like the feel of it. I like how just Sanji is really getting backed into a corner. And I really hope that the rest of the Straw Hats catch up to him soon, because the day they're talking about, the wedding, it's happening the next day in this. And even in that same day, they're going to have lunch with Big Mom and Pudding. So I'm pretty sure, I'm really hoping that the next chapter we actually get to see that lunch. As much as I would like to see more Straw Hats, I would rather see the lunch between the Vinsmoke family and the Big Mom family. Well, and the Lin family. Charlotte Lin, Charlotte Chiffon, Charlotte... I think their last name is Charlotte. Yeah, between the Vinsmoke family and the Charlotte family. So I'm looking forward to that. So, I like this chapter. I really liked it. It also shows how cold-hearted Germa 66 is, especially the Vinsmoke folks family. Especially Reiji. I thought she was going to be... Well, Reiji, she's still polite a little bit in her own subtle way. But that's a conversation for another time. So, thank you for coming out to see me today, and I look forward to seeing you again in my next One Piece chapter reaction and review next week. So, continue to be awesome, and as always, I will see you in the next video. So, later, peoples.